I'm in Amsterdam, one of the best cities on the whole planet, and I can't lie, the place has chewed me up and spat me out the last few days. This video goes in a direction I wasn't planning and is a little bit of a nightmare to put together because it's like the city looked at all of the things we can't talk about on YouTube and legalised them and put them everywhere. But hopefully you'll come along for the ride. Let's start back at the beginning at the airport. I'm at City Airport. This is as stressed as you're going to see me. I've got minutes before my flight goes, not hours, minutes. So let's work out what's going on and get on it. I'll catch up with you in a second. What the hell just happened then? Well, my flight was due to take off at 10 o'clock from City Airport, but I woke up to my alarm at 5:50 to an email saying it had been cancelled and I'd been moved to a flight taking off at 8:40. Now, I won't bore you with the geography of London, but I live on the other side of it, so as opposed to a casual train over with a bit of breakfast, it was a last-minute Uber and a race against time to get here. I am now here. For those of you who don't know London City Airport, it's a tiny little airport right out in the East End in gangland. You have no reason to come here. It mainly serves city workers jumping from financial district to financial district within Europe doing big money deals so they can be back in the same day. Do I regret booking a flight out of here because it was a lot cheaper than Heathrow or Gatwick? Well, with all the trouble going on, yes I do, but we're here now. Proper planes don't fly out of here. The runway's too short. Nothing made by Boeing, nothing made by Airbus there. Planes made by manufacturers you haven't heard of, which I'm sure and I hope are just as safe as their more famous counterparts. So we're in Amsterdam. They've got a hell of an airport. It's got about 48 runways facing in every direction imaginable, but only one terminal. So when you get here, you spend longer on the bus getting from the plane to the terminal than you do on the plane to get here. What was the KLM flight experience like? Well, it was actually really, really good if you put aside the fact they emailed me at 3:30 in the morning telling me my original flight was cancelled, because why wouldn't I be holding a candle-lit vigil through the night to await a message from them, only to get to the airport after a very rushed Uber journey with minutes to spare for the plane that I was then getting on to be delayed for so long we actually took off at roughly the same time I was meant to in the first place. But yeah, once we were in the air, absolutely brilliant. Couldn't recommend them more.
Amsterdam Centraal, Amersfoort Centraal.
Well, that couldn't have been any easier. It was 15 minutes from the airport into the middle of the city for €6.90. If you're coming, don't even mess around with a taxi. That's what I was told, and I'm glad I took the advice. As far as the cost of the flights goes, because I know people like to know, mine were a couple of £100 return because they were going from where I wanted them to go from at the time I wanted them to go. Or, well, they were supposed to, they didn't. Amsterdam is so close to Britain that you can get flights for a few quid if you don't mind being strapped to the wing of a Wizz airplane or something with no baggage allowance. So, yeah, do your own research, but it's easy to get to because they've got about 700 runways. We've only been here 5 minutes, but I've already decided that the order of things puts bicycles and trams above everything else on the road, so I'm going to keep an eye out for those silent killers. Oh yes, I absolutely love it. But then having said that, 2 weeks ago I was in Cairo, so you could put me alone on the surface of Mars and I would be loving that as well. Nothing against Cairo, but it was a bit too chaotic for my liking. This is... Oh, there's my hotel. And here we are, the room. Let me spin you round and I'll give you the tour. There I am, hello. There's a little cupboard thing and a safe and all of that down there. The bathroom is absolutely fine. I'm really happy with that. And it is a single room. It's marketed as a single room. So if it feels to you like the cabin of a submariner, that's why. Price? £140 a night. Which I know isn't cheap, but we are right in the middle of Amsterdam, and that was kind of the going price for an okay hotel room at the time. Now, the plan is, there is no plan. I've got some things I want to do, and I might put an Insta/TikTok story out asking for other good ideas, but yeah, we're just going to smash as many activities as possible within the city centre. Hopefully you'll stick with me. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't already, because that helps. Oh yeah, and I completely forgot, the hotel has a fitness and wellness centre, if you can call it that. Let me spin you around and show you. There's a sauna, there's a steam room there. I have checked to make sure there's no one in any of them. There's showers, and then I'll take you through the door here. There are lockers, and are you ready for the gym? There we go. And you are on display to the corridor out there. Anyway, let's get out onto the road, because the other thing I've forgotten to tell you is we are meeting someone. Owen Riemann, who also makes stupid videos for the internet, is here, and he's going off across Europe and stuff like that. But we're going to meet for a few drinks, and also it means on some of the activities I'm not going to look so odd doing them on my own. I'm struggling to deal with how many bikes are just left at the roadside. Anyone else from London will know you don't see bike racks like this. They'd all be gone. Wheels would be gone, saddles would be gone, or the bikes themselves will be gone. So, yeah. I wish I'd brought my bike with me. God knows how much KLM would have charged me for that. Sorry, that was a bit rushed. I came out of the hotel and Owen was waiting for me, who is now sitting opposite me, and we got a ferry. The ferries are completely free to cross the river. We got over, and we've just come to a bar because I really need food. I haven't eaten today yet, and I also wouldn't mind a beer. Well, I feel infinitely better now I've had something to eat and drink, because I didn't get a chance to have anything this morning because of KLM shenanigans. Now, before we had our pint and our food, I threw an Insta post up saying, what are people suggesting? And someone quite interesting has just DM'd me, but I don't know whether they're joking or not. I absolutely love how the ferries are free. If these were in London, Sadiq would be charging us £8 to go on them. It's very good. Okay, so the messages I've got flying backwards and forwards are with the manager of quite a big musician who follows me on TikTok, who's playing in Amsterdam tonight. So we're going to see if anything comes of this. There's an ambient smell of a substance which, if ever you've been to a Kent town, you'll be familiar with it. You know you're in a proper city where the metro system allows you just to tap your card and you're through. That's what we like. So here we are at the Ziggo Dome. The person I've been messaging backwards and forwards is called James, and he's the manager of Chesney Hawkes, and Chesney Hawkes is supporting James Blunt tonight, and they said, do you want to come along to the gig? So we said yes. Now, I'm hoping that James is a real person and not a 14-year-old in a bedroom up north just on the wind-up with me with a fake Instagram profile. I don't think so. I think I've done enough due diligence to cover that trap, but let's go and see what's going on. This has taken a bit of a turn, this post, hasn't it? Don't worry, we will get back to Amsterdam very, very shortly. Nope, it wasn't a 14-year-old in the north of England trying to wind me up. We are actually here with Chesney Hawkes. So, yeah, and of course, his manager, James, who is a real person.
They're in there, his crew.
We're now on the tour bus. It is the final night of the tour, so it's a little bit messier. 16 people can sleep on the tour bus. I don't think I would. If I was a superstar, I'd just be getting hotels booked for me, but it's up to them. We will be back to Amsterdam very, very shortly, but at the moment we're just in an arena of 17,000 seats and we're the only two in here waiting for sound check. €7 each, in case you're wondering. €7. As the James Blunt fans queue up, I've got a pint of Amstel Rosé. Let's give it a go. We don't get this in the UK. Yeah, it's not for me. Thank you so much. Cheers, thank you. I'm thoroughly enjoying being around the James Blunt fans. They are the most harmless people you could possibly meet. It's not often you get 17,000 people in a place and not feel at all threatened by them. I'll tell you what I do feel threatened by. €8 a pint.
I've been to both.
Well, we're now on the metro, making our way back into the city after an evening which seems like a bit of a fever dream. So I say we get this whole trip back on course.
He doesn't like gear. I don't know what it is.
No, he does.
Yeah, I know he does, man. I saw gear in Amsterdam for 20 years, mate. Come on.
Like being back in Cairo.
I'm not sure it did because the weather.
So we got off the metro and accidentally walked into the red light district, which was slightly embarrassing, but we've got over it, and now we're going back to the hotels. I say hotels, I'm going back to my private luxury room, and Owen is going back to his dormitory with 9 other men, and we will catch up with you in the morning, which to us is 8 hours away, but to you is now. Boom, and it's the following day, and I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed after a great night's sleep. No, it was fine. The hotel was absolutely fine. Now we are getting on with proper Amsterdam activities. We're going down to the Heineken experience. I am fine, don't worry. Heineken experience for a tour of the brewery, which after the Heinekens we consumed last night feels a little bit like a victim going and being given a lecture by their attacker. But we will do our best to enjoy it. And then back into the city centre where we will do as much as we can that will get past community guidelines. This is really cool. It's an underground car park. It's like a vending machine that you put your car in and it sort of parks it automatically and then goes and retrieves it. This chap has got his car coming down. And we drank too much Heineken last night, so we are...
I gotta continue.
Opening the machine, put a bottle on the stand.
You know anything about the brewing process? Are you into beer?
It's very well done. It's a quality attraction. We paid €30 each for the tickets, but that includes access to the rooftop, which we'll go up to in a second. But it also includes 3 beers, which, considering the cost of beers in Amsterdam, pretty good value, to be honest. I don't know whether I have the appetite for any Heineken at the moment, but we've paid for it, so yeah, as and when it's given to us, I will have a sip or two.
Is this beer? What is this in here?
So
What is this?
in here is just water and a barley.
Okay.
Yeah, so so far it's the very beginning of the brewing process.
Doing all of this a little bit hungover seems counterintuitive. I'm not sure whether it's helping my physical state or sort of hammering the final nail into the coffin. It's fun though. I like it.
Tasting of the beer, right? So, don't drink it quite yet, but in the Netherlands we say proost.
Do not worry, I'm not a monster of a man. These are just tiny little glasses. They've spoken about the amount of free beers we're getting, but they're basically shots, which is fine. And it's not free either, because we paid €30 to get in, so I don't know where they get that from. We're not getting a Heineken bottle printed with a personalised message on it, because they want another €7.50 for it. We're now in the Formula 1 bit. The partnership between Heineken and the Formula 1 is genius, because if you've ever been around a Formula 1 fan, you'll know that you need a drink.
Here it's much more fresher, so enjoy it for me. So I will love one, but I can't have it.
We've got rooftop tickets.
Yeah.
So
once you've exited the store and you turn left, you're gonna be in the.
this is the second classiest gift shop I've ever been anywhere. You want to know what the classiest is? Well, it's the English Heritage one at the Battle of Hastings site. Don't ask why. It was a long time ago I went. We're now up on the rooftop bar. I think I said earlier that the cost of all of the experience that we've had is €30, but you have had 4 beers, 4 small beers, but 4 beers all the same. And I also need to clarify, this is not an advert for Heineken. To be honest, I'd take or leave the stuff normally. There'd have to be very few beers on tap in a pub for me to actually select Heineken, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the drink anyway, and it has livened me up a bit after last night. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. Heineken experience, yeah, granted, imperial pints, which I know is what everyone cares about, you only get the equivalent of probably 2 of them because the glasses are very, very small, but yeah, lovely staff. I am in love with the atmosphere here. If this is what happens when you legalise cannabis and prohibition, then I think a lot of the UK could do with it, to be honest. So I've just nipped into a spa to get a cheeky meal deal, and the guy behind the till was staring at me in the eyes, sort of super polite and smiling at me, and I couldn't figure out why. And I think he was probably trying to figure out whether sort of I've done the mother of all edibles or not. And you know, like so many tourists here bite the dust. We walked past a group of girls, and there was one of them sadly sat by the side of the road who thought she was on the brink of death, probably because she'd eaten a little bit too much of the brownie or whatever. Look at this, look at the parking here. One wrong move next to the canal. And it's all over the place. Like, everyone parks like that. Crazy. But cars must go in. They must go in occasionally. Thank you very much. Yes.
About you, but then I need 1 box.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you've got the limited weight hazard. This is for one of you, there's one other coming.
Oh, thank
we
you.
We have wine, beer, sodas. What do you like?
A beer, please.
Yeah, beer, please.
Oh, look at that.
I served you.
Oh, look
I
at
served
that.
you at this moment up. Hotel. You will wake up in second smallest, next to the high sailing back in time because 1600.
So as you just saw, we did a boat tour around Amsterdam. It lasted for an hour. I couldn't talk to camera on it because there were a load of other people, and the boat operator, the driver, the captain was a hell of a character, and yeah, we couldn't talk to camera. But it was €21, worth every penny, and we paid an additional €10 to have all you can drink on board, and you get given some snacks as well. So €31, bargain. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I won't ruin the surprises if you come to do it. So one absolutely hilarious thing that I forgot to mention was last night as we were going into the gig, Owen had snus with him, you know, those little nicotine pouches that you put on your gum. I don't go anywhere near them because I've heard the horror stories. And the security took it off him. And we said, what, why has he got a bit of it? He said, oh, they're not legal in the Netherlands, and they're seen as harmful to your health. And well, that focused all of our minds because pretty much everything is legal here, yet they've decided that snus isn't. And I've always had my suspicions about it because it's an absolute walloping great amount of nicotine in a tiny space of time. But vapes are allowed here, and I have my theories about vapes as well. Maybe you have your theories about vapes that you can leave in the comments. And while you're leaving them in the comments, of course, hit like. And please press subscribe if you haven't already. We are back on the mind-blowing free ferries. How they haven't just built a whopping great bridge across the thing, I do not know. But if they're happy to pay for these, then who are we to argue? So we're back across the river. Why? Well, let me spin you around and I'll show you. We're going up that building there, and near the top, I don't know whether you can see them, there are some swings going backwards and forwards, and we're going to go up there and hopefully go on them before we can get tickets. Apparently there's a bar up there and they do burgers as well, so it's all going on. Oh bloody hell, this is what I thought would happen. The swings are behind me. When you actually get up here, as with everything at height, it's much higher at the top than it is at the bottom. So we've bought the ticket to go on the swing. It was €30 to get up here, and we get a drink included, and that includes the swing. Do I want to do it? Well, not really, but I'm with Owen. He's over the other side, and I don't want to seem like a coward. And also, I'm committed to this post. Owen. Hello. Yeah, it's dicey as hell. It's dicey as hell. Have you seen it? There's no harness.
Oh.
No, he's literally just a lap bar. Okay. We're gonna do this.
Yes.
Fine. You sure? Yeah. No, I'd be happier. No, don't worry about me being happy. You be happy. Oh, good. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God.
How is it?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, you know, a lesser man would be fazed by that, but not me. Not me. That was... yeah. Okay. No, it was all right. 10 euros well spent. Okay, so I'm in the toilets. There's no one else in here, but check this out. Let me spin you around. These are the urinals, and then you look out over that, and then you've got all the public underneath you there. Yeah. So we've got a drink included in the price of entry. Place your bets now on the size of the drink we're going to be given for, quotation marks, free. Well, this is pretty cool. Look at this. There's a model of the building.
Are you ready? Let's start at the restaurant on the 19th floor.
We didn't do the FIAR roller coaster because they wanted a load more money for it. Brilliant. Well, surprise, surprise, it's a little half pint and we paid €4 extra to have it added on to our ticket. But Amsterdam is becoming sort of death by Heineken. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, that was great, partly because it was quite fun and partly because it proved my manliness to you. Not that I needed to prove my manliness to you, you're fully aware of it, but I like to reaffirm my manliness to you occasionally. So I'm not filming you, I'm filming the bench, I apologise, sorry. And now we're back into the complete relaxation of Amsterdam city centre. This is 5:30 on a weekday night and it's more chilled than my living room on a Saturday evening, honestly. The Dutch food is so far up my street I cannot begin to explain. It's basically beige carbs, saturated fat and sugar, which is kind of the three main groups of nutrition I look for in a meal. I absolutely love it. The only thing is there's bakeries everywhere with beautiful baked delights which all look enjoyable, but you've just got to be a little bit careful because if you go into the wrong bakery and order the wrong brownie, then your next 6 hours are going to be taking a hell of an excursion. You're not going to be going around sightseeing, you're going to be cowering in a corner talking to the aliens. Now, as soon as we've got a table somewhere, we'll sit down and I will explain everything about the red light district and everything about the cannabis trade. You know what I'm talking about. But we're going to have to be grown up if we have that conversation. Do you promise me you're going to be grown up? Yeah, I thought you would. So, yeah, let's get a table. So basically, as the city got bigger, as I try not to get run over, they added a new network of canals in, a new loop of canals in, so it's a bit like an onion, if that kind of makes any sense, with canals. They were all dug by hand, which, well, I suppose it's not working down a mine, you'd be in the open air digging it out, but it still would be a hell of a job. Well, I don't think it was one person on their own, I think they had sort of at least a few dozen of them digging away at any one time.
Heb je een slaapkamer ermee? Ja. En we stopt allemaal onder het bed? Ja, ik had ook niks van There was I was in an art class after a week or so. There was a gardener over there. I got a good meal. There was a fight in the shower, and I kept my mouth shut. And the guys from the Irish kitchen gave me extra food, and every week, look, Steve, we sold your painting. We owe you £80 and 45 pence. I said, what?
Well, thank you so much. Cheers. Amazing. "Hey Phil, what are you doing with a little bottle of wine sat next to a canal at a bookshop?" Well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, we got told when we were on the boat tour that this whole bookshop is a loophole. The guy who owns it, Stephen, I think his name is, has basically set up a scheme where it's a bookshop, and in Amsterdam you're allowed to give a gift to any customers of yours. So you go in and you effectively buy a book, and then he gives you a bottle of wine, or a little bottle of wine with the book. One hilarious issue is Owen isn't getting on with the wine at all, and I don't normally drink a lot of wine. I can drink it, but considering all of Amsterdam is sort of death by Heineken, it's actually quite nice to have a change from the stuff. Nothing against Heineken, but yeah, I wouldn't choose to drink it all day normally. And it's probably at this point that I should talk to you either about the red light district or about the legalised cannabis over here. Which one do you want me to go with first? Should we talk about the red light district? Let's do that. So you get fined €240 if you get caught filming anything in there. So obviously I'm not going to do it, but I wouldn't have done it anyway. Two reasons. One, the girls don't want to be filmed. They're at work, like any of us at work. You don't want some chump showing up with a camera waving it in their faces. The second reason is the punters. People come here from all over Europe or all over the world, and we've met some of them and we've spoken to some of them, and they come here simply for the industry of the red light district. There are two theatres in the red light district, Moulin Rouge and Casa, can't remember the name of the other, and there you pay an entry and you go in, and there's a very explicit show going on that you watch for an hour or two, and then you leave and then another crowd come in, and then other than that you walk down the main bit of the red light district, which isn't big. It's only about an acre in size. It's sort of one bit of canal. There's a lot of sex shops, and then there are windows where the girls are sort of like dancing in and trying to lure in over customers, and then they open the door and they negotiate with the punter a price, and they go in, and some of them have signs in the windows with what they will do and what they don't do, but mostly what they will do. And then behind those window booths are little bedrooms which have a sink and a shower. How do we know this? Well, we haven't got involved in it, but a chap that we were speaking to earlier, I won't say where, is over from the UK, and he explained the whole process to us. Cost anything from sort of €100 up to €250 for a full session, which isn't really for me, because like I said earlier, I'm somewhat happily married. With regards to the cannabis, there are areas that you can't smoke it in within the city centre, and they're clearly signed, and there are shops that just sell it either to smoke or sell it to eat. The cost I'm reluctant to go into, because even by me just saying the cost of it, in most territories this post will go out to, it is illegal, and I just can't risk it with community guidelines. But a brownie, let me just say it like that, a brownie would be about €6. But I can't really talk about it too much. I wish I could. I haven't done anything while I'm here because I've chosen not to. I'm quite happy if I'm drinking, that's fine by me. But there are a lot of tourists who come over here just to get barbecued, basically, which is absolutely fine. But if you do come over here for that reason, then we have walked past a couple of people absolutely whiteying by the side of the road, people from overseas who are basically having their back rubbed and are being told they're not going to die. So yeah, just take it bloody easy, especially if you're going to do edibles. I'm guessing more people in the comments will let you know the details of the cannabis industry than the sex industry. But if anyone who does get involved in the sex industry wants to come forward and issue their wisdom to the rest of the class, then you'll be gratefully received from a commenting point of view. Well, that was one of the stranger experiences. I'm sure he started off as Stephen and finished up as Charles, the guy who owned the Loophole bar / bookshop where we had a bottle of wine in exchange for a book. And as I left, he said, because he didn't give us peanuts or he didn't give us anything like that, and I paid him cash. Well, I don't think he's got a card reader, why would he? He gave me a little package, and I've just opened up, and it's like earrings, clog earrings. We've just walked around the corner to Fable Frites or something like that. Fable fries in English, which apparently are the nuts. They're like loaded fries. I've gone for spicy mayo and truffle mayo, which I didn't think would work, but she looked at me and said, yeah, that's all right. What did you go for?
Cheddar, mayo, ketchup.
There you go. As British as it can get. Love it. Yeah, they were just loaded fries, but if you judge them by them just being loaded fries, they were absolutely fantastic. The queue now is, oh god, as I nearly topple over, the queue now is substantial, so I don't know whether I'd be willing to queue for, you know, like half an hour or an hour for them, but yeah, we got lucky, we just walked up and got them. Very, very good. If you're in Amsterdam, couldn't recommend it enough, provided you don't need to queue, in which case I couldn't recommend them less. Well, no, I still recommend them, but you know what I mean. Quack, quack, quack. So allow me to speculate an opinion very quickly. I think the reason why Amsterdam has the atmosphere that Amsterdam does is because it's a massive city, but for the reasons of it being sort of built on a marsh and various other things, nothing goes above 4 or 5 stories tall. So you can see the sky quite easily wherever you are. So at any point, even though there's buildings miles in that direction, miles in that direction, you just feel like you're in a town the whole time. To get into the Dutch spirit, we're going to an Irish bar, because apparently they've got Irish music on tonight, so why wouldn't we? The canal we were warned about when we did the boat cruise earlier, apparently a lot of people fall into the canal every year, but cars fall into it, bikes fall into it, everything falls into canals. Okay, it's 11:30 PM. Owen has gone back to his hostel because he's got to be up at the crack of dawn, and we're going to go for a walk down the red light district. I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll see you on the other side.
I didn't say that. I know that's what it sounded like.
Absolutely good luck to all of the punters and good luck to all of the girls working, but both of those groups are in the minority. The majority of people here are, dare I say it, probably I'm one of them, just coming down to have a gawk at the atmosphere, have a gawk at everything going on and buy an overpriced beer. We're now back in the hotel. I'm going to go up to the room and I will see you in the morning. It's the morning and I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. As you can tell by my voice, I am fine. Owen had a flight at 6 AM this morning or thereabouts, but he's back safe and well. Well, he's back safe. He was in his hostel with 9 other random gentlemen in bunks, but he seemed happy, and I couldn't recommend my hotel, the Intel something or other in the city centre. Can't recommend that enough. It's absolutely brilliant hotel. Not cheap, but absolutely brilliant. I need something to eat. haven't been on the trams, have we? I don't intend to. Where I come from, there's a place called Croydon nearby, which is somewhere where you never go, and they have trams, and I've never trusted the thing since they took them up. So I had the choice between the Diamond Museum, the Van Gogh Museum and Frank's House, or the Sex Museum. I chose the Sex Museum, and yeah, none of this is getting past content guideline filters, so yeah. It is brilliantly done, but it is absolutely X-rated. There's a family here walking around together. Absolutely no chance. I'd be blushing if I was walking around with my best mate. There's a lot of historical artefacts, all of which I can't show you either. But what really takes the win, as the kids would say, are the animatronics. Sort of like Disney-style animatronics, but doing absolutely atrocious acts on one another. Yeah, €10 to get in. If you're in Amsterdam and you want to have your imagination broadened, then yeah, come along. Okay, that was silly of me to take you there, to be honest. I should have taken you somewhere more cultured that I could actually show you stuff without having my account on here taken down. The family walking around was absolutely hilarious. They had 2 teenagers with them. I think they were German. But yeah, it was a little bit awkward. Imagine when you used to watch television with your parents and 2 people would be kissing on a TV show. Times that by about 1,000, and I think that's probably the awkwardness level that the family were experiencing. Overall, I wouldn't say you'd be getting the most out of Amsterdam if you came here with your family. Let's leave it at that. I do like the public urinals. They are pretty useful, but they are also absolutely disgusting. They stink, but I suppose it's the lesser of 2 evils. I should probably mention that in no way has this post been sponsored by Heineken. I know it's been a recurring theme, a bit like a James Bond film with the product placement, but yeah, it hasn't been. It's just Amsterdam seems to be ruled by Heineken. They have their claws firmly wrapped around the city. So I think we might wrap this up. I've got about an hour till I have to get back on a train and head to the airport to see what KLM chaos awaits me there. Do come to Amsterdam, but just think very carefully about who you come with. Make sure you've got lots of stuff in common, because there's a ton of things to do. Some of them historical, some of them raunchy, some of them a little bit mind-altering. So yeah, just make sure you come with like-minded friends. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know where I'm going to go next. Please hit subscribe if you don't already as a fan goes by. Yeah, subscribing is really, really helpful. But hit the thumbs up button, and of course leave a comment if you can. Until next time, take care.